and you said, I'm going to be the first ever AEW black champion. Were you so sure of that?
I wasn't sure.
Swerve Strickland's story is about being underestimated, about a company looking at someone special and not seeing it, about a man who had to leave before he could prove his point, and prove it, he absolutely did. Swerve Strickland signed with WWE in 2019. He came in as Isaiah Swerve Scott, and in NXT, he was impressive, athletic, creative, charismatic, different from most of what was already on the roster. He won the NXT North American Champion in June 2021 by defeating Bronson Reed. His reign lasted 105 days before he lost it to Carmelo Hayes. Still, being a champion in NXT matters. He was building something. Then, he became part of Hero, role, a faction with Top Dollar, Ashante, Adonis, and B-Fab. They had an energy, a culture, and hip-hop flavored vibe that felt genuinely fresh and different. They got drafted to SmackDown during the WWE draft in November 2021. And then less than 2 weeks later, WWE released all of them. Less than 2 weeks on the main roster. Before fans could even connect with them properly, before the group could show what they could do at the top level, WWE just cut them. Gone. Swerve said publicly that getting that phone call was devastating, that he had to go home and tell his family that for 48 hours he was not okay. He thought he was on top of the world, and then suddenly, he was not. Swerve said, and I quote, "I thought I was on top of the world. Then 24 hours later, I wasn't. I had to tell my family that it wasn't easy." End of quote. Bryan Danielson, who would later become his AEW teammate, said this after Swerve's release. He asked who in their right mind would let this man go. He says Swerve simply was not given the opportunity to be his best self. That quote says a lot about how WWE missed the boat on this guy. Then, Swerve signed with AEW in March 2022. And unlike some big name signing who get pushed to the top straight away, Swerve's AEW story was slow and deliberately built. He teamed with Kid Lee as Swerve in Our Glory. They won the AEW World Tag Team Championships in July 2022. Good stars, fans liked them as a team, but you could see Swerve wanted more. He turned on Kid Lee, he formed the Mogul affiliates, he brought in Prince Nana, and created the Mogul Embassy. He was building a character, building a presence, building something dark, incredible, and dangerous. He had a shocking storyline involving a young wrestler named Nick Wayne that genuinely stunned the AEW audience. He was doing things with his character that showed he was more than just a high flyer with good matches. He was a storyteller. He understood drama. And then came Hangman Adam Page, and the whole thing went to another level entirely. The Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page rivalry is one of the best long-term feuds in AEW history. Possibly one of the best in wrestling over the last 5 years, full stop. It was violent, it was personal, it was bloody. It involved Swerve doing something to pay his family that made him the most hated man in AEW. It was a real feeling in a way that modern wrestlers rarely achieves. The crowds got behind it, the matches delivered. Every time these two were in the same building, the temperature went up. There was a Texas death match, there was a coffin match, there was brutality on the level that you do not see very often in mainstream wrestling. And the whole time, Swerve kept growing. His character was getting bigger. His promos were getting sharper. His presence was expanding. He was becoming something. He participated in the first Continental Classic tournament in late 2023 and reached the semifinals. He was in the ring with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson at the very top of the company, and he belonged there. At AEW Dynasty in April 2024, Swerve Strickland defeated Samoa Joe to win the AEW World Championship. And then he did not just win the title, he made history. Swerve Strickland became the first black AEW World Champion in company history. Think about what that means. The man WWE released after less than 2 weeks on SmackDown became the first black world champion in AEW history. This is a full circle moment if there ever has been one in professional wrestling. The celebration in that arena was real. The emotion in Swerve's face was real. This was not just a title win. This was proof. Proof that WWE was wrong. Proof that he was always good enough. Proof that he just needed the right place to show it. Swerve said, and I quote, "AEW's game is something I don't think WWE could ever give me. Tony Khan didn't take a chance on me. He knew what he wanted for me. He put me on the position and said, now grow." He held the AEW World Champion for 126 days. He defended it against some of the best wrestlers in the world. He was ranked number 2 in the PWI 500 in 2024, behind only undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, number 2 in the entire world. The same guy who was let go after 13 days on SmackDown was the second best wrestler on the planet according to Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Still going strong in 2025. After losing the title to Bryan Danielson at All In 2024, Swerve took the time off with a knee injury. But when he came back at Full Gear 2025, the reaction said everything. The crowd went crazy. They had missed him. He immediately re-entered the main event scene. He was in a four-way AEW World Championship match at World's End 2025, alongside Samoa Joe, MJF, and Hangman Page. He is still one of the biggest acts in AEW heading into 2026, and WWE noticed. He revealed publicly that WWE reached out to his representative when his AEW contract was running down. They were interested in getting him back. He said no. And I quote, "I'm happy with building AEW. I'm happy with building myself. I waved the flag proudly." End of quotes. That says everything. The man WWE threw away now turns down their calls because he knows his value, because AEW showed him his value, because 2 years of build and the Hangman Page feud and the world title and the historic moment taught him exactly who he is. He's Swerve Strickland, the realist, the first black AEW world champion. And they got there because WWE let him go. WWE has Swerve Strickland and lets it go after less than 2 weeks on the main roster. AEW has Swerve Strickland and lets him become the first black world champion in company history. The difference is not talent. The talent was always there. The difference is opportunity. The difference is creative freedom. The difference is a company that looks at a performer and asks what they can become instead of where they fit into an already crowded template. AEW does not always get it right. AEW was exactly the right place at exactly the right time. And as always,